first PartnerWorld in this role with you, and I couldn't be prouder of him. He has got a superb passion for both the markets you serve and for you, and this is his dream job. And finally, he has earned it. So, I give you Mark Dupaki. So. If anyone's going to help you grow, it's going to be this guy here. So let me, though, begin by thanking all of you for coming so far. You are an extension of IBM. I heard a client actually maybe even better describe you. I had the CEO of one of our big banks with us, and I said, well, how do you think of us as a partner? And at first he said something, I was worried. He goes, well, I don't think of you as a partner. And I thought, oh, this is not starting on a good foot. And he said, no, you are a part of us. And I think that very much, and I thought next week I'll be with the business partners. That's very much how we think of you. You are a part of us. And it's 20% of our revenue, it's 30% of our software, over 50% of our systems business. You represent almost half of our Smarter Planet references that we talk about. So I thank you very much for that. I am here, and by being here, it is a way to both thank you, but I also am here for another reason. I would love to convince you to join us on a journey here. Now, Mark mentioned we are always transforming IBM, and we're transforming right now to lead in these most important shifts that are happening in the industry we serve. Now, I have to tell you, as Mark said, this ambidextrous point, you have wonderful current businesses, and those will continue to grow, and we want them to continue to grow. But there is also new markets, and that's what I want to start by talking about, these new shifts in our industry, and then I'd like to share with you what I think they mean for both you, what our customers really want, what we've done. And I'll start with what they mean to clients and what we've done, and then I want to spend some more time in a dialogue on what it means with you and with us together. Because we are going to lead this future. You make no doubt about it. Your time here is well spent, and all your investment in the IBM company is well spent. There is no doubt we will lead not only the past, but the future. So, let me start with what I consider the three biggest shifts. And those of you that know me, everything goes in threes. It's easier to remember, it's good luck, all sorts of reasons. And I think of three words. You saw some of them up there. I think of the word data. And when I think of data, I would love for you to think of this as a new natural resource for the world. But it's unlimited, but you only get value if you refine it. The second is the word cloud, which is all about process or IT delivered as a service. But I will tell you again, in a client's eyes, it's really about a business model. And then the third topic, the word engagement. And with the clients we serve, yes, it's social mobile, but I want you to add the word security to that. And I'm going to come back to it. So let me talk about each one, because I want you to be very confident about the portfolio build. So let me first talk about data. As I said, and we've been saying this for years, this idea that it is a new natural resource. Now, as a new natural resource, I must tell you, all the clients I meet with, they agree with that. 2.5 billion gigabytes per day get created. But more interesting, 3 out of 4 clients have a big data project going or a pilot underway. And every CEO I talk to, and I suspect many of you who run your business, you would agree with me if I said, information will be the basis of competitive advantage no matter who you are. It will determine the winners and the losers. I am absolutely confident that on the edge, that will determine what happens. We've believed this for years. My goodness, it started with Smarter Planet. And I want you to know that in the area of big data analytics, we've invested $24 billion in the recent years. $17 billion on 30 acquisitions, $7 billion moving our organic development. There's 30,000 practitioners around. There are 30,000 engagements that we've completed, 10,000 consultants, 400 mathematicians, 1,000 education programs with universities going on, which is a really important part for the future. And together, we've created $16 billion of information, big data, analytics business. $16 billion in 2013 alone. I thank you for that. And I'd like to share with you what I think when clients think about this competitive advantage, the 3 things that they're going to do. Because I think that that should provide, I hope, some insight to what it is you offer them. I see these 3 themes over and over. The first one, as clients go to get value out of this information, they are going to use multiple types of information, and they're going to use a wide range of analytics. Now, a group like this, I don't have to describe structured, unstructured, and the idea of descriptive analytics, then you mature to predictive, and then prescriptive. But it's why we've built front office analytics, risk, compliance, fraud, all in our portfolio for you. The second thing I see clients doing, they're saying, you know what? We are got to capture the time value of information, time value. That means they believe battles are going to be won and lost, market share won and lost in seconds. This is why we have built streaming technologies. This is why Power, and I'm going to talk more about Power. Power does data better than anything in this world, and it will become even more and more important in what's out there, world-leading database as well. And in fact, I got to meet with one of our business partners here, one of the Beacon Award, Mark, you'll give the Beacon Awards, Integrity, one of them, and I want you to think about this as an application. What they did is work with an insurance company in Florida, another place that no one's actually from. Everyone I talk to here is not from Las Vegas, right? You just go move there. But in Florida, it was an insurance application. And what they do, thinking of analytics, searching social data, they prioritize claims based on the kind of words used. So they're doing natural language analytics. Is it a disaster? Was it damaged, destroyed? And based on the kind of language, you prioritize how important the issue is. A simple but perfect application of analytics in applied real time. But there will be a third thing clients will embrace in data analytics, and you are with the right company as a partner. They will embrace cognitive computing. How many of you have seen us or seen Watson, or at least read about Watson? Raise your hands. Okay, it's the main floor. Not the, are these cheaper seats in the upper 2 levels? These are paid for down here? I don't know. Watson is, we are clearly leading this era. My sort of short story is, first era of computing, machines that counted. Second, they just did programming. You have to program them to know what to do. It's everything you have to this day. But because of that 2.5 billion gigabytes a day, there will come a time you cannot program to understand all this information. You will need a system that learns. And that's what Watson is. 3 years ago, we introduced Watson to you playing the game show Jeopardy. But we have been busy in the last 3 years. In the last 3 years, Watson has been training, because you don't program it, you train it. It has been training on finance, it has been training on healthcare, retail, travel. And here's what's meaningful to you. I want you to note 2 things, because we just made a big announcement about Watson. In fact, I announced a whole division for Watson. Another $1 billion, 2,000 more people. It will be headquartered in Silicon Alley, not Silicon Valley, all right? So we're gonna show the world the East Coast has as much talent as the West Coast, all right? Now, what is meaningful to you guys as a partner? I want you to take note of 2 parts of that announcement. There will be something, and there is something called Watson Foundations. It's the broadest portfolio and deepest of analytics. And this to me is hugely important as you get ready to use Watson. But more important, and I got to talk to one of you about this, is a Watson ecosystem. We believe right from the start, we will not know all the applications of Watson. So Watson will be made available as a cloud service to you partners to start businesses. There'll be a corpus around travel, around healthcare, around retail, and we'll keep going, and you'll build your own. And this is going to have a multi-decade run on it, and I can't wait for you to become very wealthy off of all the applications you are going to build on top of Watson. So ecosystem just announced. We've got thousands of partners in line, and this will continue to evolve. I'd invite you to join the ecosystem with your ideas. So, first big shift, data. Data is the basis of competitive advantage. Lots of investment leading. Second shift, let me entice you on cloud. All right? As I said, simply defined IT business process as a service. But make no mistake, IBM is remaking enterprise IT, enterprise IT for the era of cloud. Enterprise IT for the era of cloud. You know, some of the statistics, by 2016, 1 in 4 apps, some say, will be on the cloud. Some say 80% of software development is being done on the cloud. But I always want you to remember with our clients that you talk to, most often they are making a business model decision, not a technology decision. And we have prepared for years on this. So I think numbers that aren't well understood, we've invested $6 billion in our cloud portfolio. $6 billion, 17 acquisitions. You're going to see Lance is on the agenda, I believe, from SoftLayer, one of our pinnacle parts of our software portfolio for the public cloud. 40,000 experts here already, more than 1,500 recent patents here. As you know, Global Technology Services formed a cloud unit. Software, the whole Robert LeBlanc team, cloud first, mobile first in all of our development. And I'll share with you the 3 design decisions we see clients making around cloud. Again, hopefully that helps you as you bring forward your cloud ideas. The first one, every client I know is going to make a decision about architecture. What kind of cloud to build? Let me assert the answer is hybrid. Hybrid meaning they will build their own private clouds. Many of you do work with people there. They will also build applications in the public. Sometimes we call that a systems of engagement. But we were just, Alistair, your next speaker, and I were just talking about this. But you know what? They are going to connect these two. You are going to see the same world play out as what happened with the internet. If you remember in the 90s, people first put things on the internet and they browsed. But then they said, well, I'm going to do transactions. I'm going to do real business. Then they had to connect it back to all their investments, their supply chains, marketing, demand, management, everything else out here. And there evolved the world of middleware. There will be the same thing in this world. And there is no one better that knows how to do that than us. I saw an analyst report that by 2017, 50% of companies will be in a hybrid environment. So think about that for your opportunity. Second thing I see at the top of a client's list when it comes to cloud, because it's really about business model, is how they're going to manage data. I can't convince you enough to put this at the top of your sort of priority list. And the answer is, no matter what, you better be able to manage it as if it's on your premise. And that means auditability, security, control. Data management will be the singular critical point in the future for cloud. And many of you are from many countries. You know this better than me. There are 100 countries that already have data protection regulation. I prefer they didn't, but they do. So you're going to have to deal with that. Or the cost of moving data is going to become prohibited, or the security issues. You have to have a partner, us, that has a global footprint, or you will be limited. And this is why you saw us invest another $1.2 billion, second week of January, to expand our cloud data centers. We have 25 in the world, added 15, 40, but they're in China, India, Japan, Australia, Canada, Mexico, Africa, India, the list goes on. That's where the expansion is. And then the third thing I see clients ask us for on cloud is they say, help me with ways to innovate and reinvent faster. And for many times, the answer to that will be what many of you do. Software as a service, or what's coming, composable services. This is why we already have, and the team will talk to you about 100 different software as a service. You probably don't realize that, 100 different software as a service applications. And in fact, our cloud offerings are in 24 of the top 25 of the Fortune 500 already. And total cloud revenue for the IBM company was $4.4 billion last year. We are a serious player in cloud. Now, I got to speak yesterday again with one of the other Beacon winners, which is another great example of cloud. And no pun intended, the business partner is Cloudant. All right, now, Cloudant, a great example of serious business. The company is Hothead Games. You might know them by Big Win Soccer, one of the electronic games out there. Now, they moved from database on-premise to database as a service. Why? They have to hold and be able to handle spikes 100x, and they are already doing, on SoftLayer, 1 billion database transactions a day. 1 billion, right? This is Games are serious business, as many of you in this that either deal with it or are around it know it. Serious business. Okay, so data, cloud. I'm going to pull you on this journey with us, and the word I used, the third shift, that is absolutely changing this industry is the word engagement. Social, mobile, security. It changes how individuals, whether you're in a company, you're a customer, a citizen, how you're understood, and it changes how you do work. So you are seeing, and I think many of you either yourself represent this because it's age independent, or your kids, you're seeing a new culture emerge. People empowered by knowledge, enriched by a network, and one more thing, they expect value from information that they might share. So if I could just tell you that the three things we see companies doing here, speed. I mean, how many of you, if you ask a question on a social network, how many have ever asked a question on somebody's social network? Raise your hands. It's gonna make you exercise a little, okay? You can see every time I move up here, I get one more dot on my band, okay? So I gotta keep pacing here. It's gonna be a long day. All right, so if you ask a question on that social network, how fast do you expect a response? How many people want to wait a day? Okay, an hour, a minute. Yeah, a minute. Okay, the first three rows think a minute's about. It's 5 minutes is the number. Speed, personalization. 80% of people in a recent survey will trade personal data if you give them a personal offer. And then the most fascinating statistic to me that you need to think of in this engagement world is security and trust. Anybody who deals in this world, your own company becomes transparent. But 1 trillion of online retail is said to hang in the balance if people can become more confident in their online transactions. 1 trillion. Think about that growth, winners and losers that are going to come out of that. And I want you to be at the center of that. So this is why, in the area of engagement, we have launched Mobile First. It was the beginning of last year. 8 mobile acquisitions, thousands of mobile experts, and as I mentioned in our software development team that many of you know well, all of IBM software development is mobile first, cloud first. This is why we strengthened our social portfolio. Many of you know Connections, and I want you to know Connections, 4th year in a row, is the #1 ranked by IDC for enterprise social platform. Added Connexa to it for a smarter workforce, many acquisitions here, and then security. I keep harping on this because I believe this is going to be the future pivotal point in this area of engagement. And we have built a strong core also around companies like Q1, 12 acquisitions, and there are, Mark, you might have had it on a chart, there are 25 labs at your use around the world on security right now. And a great group I just met is a wonderful business partner example, Fanatic. They are here from the Netherlands. That's the 2 guys taking a picture right now with their green ties, okay? Yes, you guys want to show everybody your ties? I mean, go ahead, show them your, I tell you to go look at their shoes, they're the same color. Okay, now you can sit down then, okay. That was his foot in the air, if anybody didn't notice. Green shoe to match that tie. But they are a great example of a business partner in this area of engagement with hospitals, secure social network, to do what some things normal you'd expect, patients and doctors to share medical information, schedule, have a dialogue, communicate, diaries, photos, family can join, and that is all in a secured social network that's provided there. So, let me pause. Data, cloud, engagement. We are positioning and have positioned us and you to lead. Now, today's world, the systems of record, some people call it, on-premise, plenty of opportunities still. But you'll also be able to expand into these new areas. So I wanted to wrap up by talking a little bit sort of candid, at least kind of one-on-one, on so what more does this mean to you? And I got some questions last night, so I thought it'd be a good time to answer them. Because, look, clients will continue to invest in all categories of IT. They will add and they will optimize their current environments, on-premise systems of record. I hope you believe there is no one better than us at this. Infrastructure, scale, reliability, security. And that is our industry-leading platforms on software, middleware, our systems, our storage, Z, Power, all of those on Linux, Flash, The list goes on, System On. But let me also comment on our most recent announcement with Lenovo, about Lenovo acquiring our x86 business. I got some questions last night on that. Now, x86, those of you not in it, industry standard Intel-based servers. No surprise, and those of you that are distributors, thin margins, that is what that business is. And in fact, how you improve your margins is things like you do higher return, maintenance and services, you expand and grow your software portfolio around this, and you get excellent value when you integrate a total solution. We both see the same sort of factors in this environment. So, therefore, make no mistake, while we are divesting of that business to Lenovo, we will continue with things like Pure App, Pure Data. I met many of you, Netezza, Data Power, the list goes on, Cast Iron, etc. And we will be a robust support partner to Lenovo, GTS, our GBS businesses, our services teams, design, implementation, and many of you will become great partners, which we will help transition as well to work with Lenovo. So there'll be a breakout, I believe, more on this topic, but that's the rationale and how we expect that that will work. At the same time, even those of you that continue in that distribution, I want you to think about us in all these other new areas for you to grow. And so let me speak a moment about how I expect and what changes are coming in these new areas, right? Because they provide very high growth rates for you. So it's a good time to just I want you to just take in your mind, it is a historic opportunity. These ideas of data, cloud, engagement, any one would lead a very interesting moment of innovation in our industry, but all three at once is a very different moment in time. And don't ever forget that to take advantage of this. And so there will be two key drivers, I believe, for your success over the next decade here. One will be that you have a broad portfolio, and the second will be that you have the skills. So, data analytics, one more time. Infrastructure, information, streaming, database, power, storage, analytics, the portfolio we've created for you. And then the Watson Foundations. They're going to take you decades out. Skills. I would mention that we now know already that line of business is involved in 60% of IT decisions already. So clearly, it's a set of skills many of you have already and you know you need. But as to how you make money, I want to share with you some metrics we did. We know the business partners, as an example, that offer solutions that include data and analytics, they are 5 times the growth rate of those that don't. And as well, from a margin perspective, I think you know we have a solution accelerator incentive when you offer more than a bundle of our products together. And we've enhanced the margins and the programs around power and storage. Anyone in here who's a power partner knows you have greater margins with power than you do on Intel-based solutions. And the clients on power are mission-critical applications. Okay, now the word engagement. Now, engagement, social mobile security, over and over. I just want you to, the portfolios, they're broad. If it's client experience, we have a whole smarter commerce portfolio. Social, I mentioned connections, and I mentioned connects up. Mobility, obviously work-light, mobile first. Security, Q1, the whole portfolio there. But a really interesting statistic I'd like you to remember about this word engagement. And I have to tell you, I'm a good example of it when I look at how I run IBM. I match the statistic. By 2016, 50% of the companies you sell to, of your clients, they will have 25% of their IT budget on systems of engagement. And that number has doubled in just the last year. Think about that. I just did my own IT budget, and I did the same thing in what we're going to do and use for IBM and for you as partners. And then let me add on cloud, what it means between the two of us on cloud. Because yes, cloud changes where things run, but you still have to effectively apply the applications. So, cloud. There will be opportunity in every dimension of cloud with us and with you, with our clients. As a service, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service. Take a look at applications as a service, business process, software as a service. And the programs, they're in place, but Mark, you're going to talk about many new programs too. This was another question I got a lot last night. They will meet the needs of all of you Whether you are a value-added dealer, a marketer, an integrator, a consultant, the software partner, you name it. Software group, you already have a software as a service program. The question I got the most last night was about SoftLayer. There's a referral program, and there will also be a reseller program the team is adding here today. And very attractive hosting for all ISVs. There are thousands of ISVs on SoftLayer already. And I am very proud to tell you there are thousands of clients migrating off of competitive clouds over and on to SoftLayer. You're going to hear more about that. But don't forget, the opportunity for you, as I said, there's as many clients that will live in this hybrid world. You deal from strength in the hybrid world. On-premise, public, private, the integration. And we are open. We're going to hear more and more about this open-based standards for our cloud work. Okay? Enterprise strength. I keep underlining enterprise strength. So, let me just wrap up then in my opening with you. I hope I have excited you about this. That this is not only a journey, this is one that will take you to places of greater success than you have been. We think of you as an extension of ourselves. We are committed to you, and committed means to help you grow, improve your margins, you see financial benefits, you have an ecosystem, and you have a portfolio across all the categories that are relevant in the world today. And I will say something that I hope goes without saying, we are committed to your long-term future. We don't take lightly the investments you make. Now, the market's moving fast. It's moving faster than it ever has before. So together, I hope that we move with purpose and speed, as I tell my teams. We've made the right investments, and we're very serious about this journey. And as we have done decade after decade, we will lead this next era of IT together. So thank you for your support. Thank you for everything you do with the IBM company. I am really pleased to be here to kick this off and see and sense the energy in the room. So have a great week here.